This Lil Xan, total Xanarchy. It's not good. Lil Xan is a California rapper who's been blowing up in the SoundCloud scene with some big singles and music videos. Most notably the song Betrayed. I never really took him all that seriously because I thought his songs and his music videos had kind of a goofy feel to them and had no idea that this project was coming around the corner. I was not planning on this. We're not even at the halfway point of the year yet, and this is one of the worst things I've heard all year. The beats are mostly these moody, spacey trap bangers. They have a little bit of a Young Lean feel to them, like he's definitely ripping some of his shtick off from the whole sad boy movement. And like most other rappers who have come out of this SoundCloud wave, his lyrics are pretty dumbed down, pretty simplistic, very blunt, very repetitive, but it seems like he pushes even that to a degree where it's basically unbearable. For example, the song Tick Tock, as far as Lil Xan is concerned, mostly consists of him saying Tick Tock. It's even more repetitive than Gucci Gang. Really, the only thing that gives any of these tracks credibility are the features. The 2 Chainz feature on here isn't bad. The Charlie XCX feature wasn't really anticipated, by me anyway, but she manages to be a little bit of a bright spot on this album. Even the Ray Sremmurd feature is pretty decent. Like, those little boyish vocal leads at the beginning of the track actually go over pretty well and are a nice change of pace from what Lil Xan is doing on this thing. Oh, and the song Round Here, YG on that track is the only thing that gives that song credibility. Like, what are you saying on this track? What is this song about? If I go to where your hometown is, like a bunch of sad white boys with like beanies over their heads and face tats and like really sad, gloomy looks are gonna approach me and just be like, "You're not from around here." And that's the thing. That's the worst thing about this project. It's just Lil Xan's voice, his delivery, just everything about his performances on this project. He sounds like he barely has a pulse half the time. All of his words, all of his flows are just really drawled out, and most of his songs don't really have much more than 10 words to their name because I don't think he could commit more than 10 words to memory for a single track. Xan's gonna play you, Xan, 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 Xan. Lil Xan's voice for me has been one of the most simultaneously grating but also boring sounds I've heard this year. It's so lifeless and uninspired and flavorless and lacking in personality, lacking in anything engaging. Like, what is so interesting about listening to this guy just creak his way through a song? He's like a creaky door that's just opening endlessly. It never finishes opening. It's just always creaking. And the Diplo song on this thing is ridiculous. How Xan ended up with this Diplo beat, and it's almost hilarious because he just sounds so out of place on this really uppity, poppy, fruity instrumental that he should have never been allowed to touch. Yeah, this record is just really confusing for me. I mean, right from the get-go, the opening track where he's saying, you know, the Xans don't make me what I am, Xans don't make me who I am. I mean, for what other purpose does this song exist other than to, I don't know, convince somebody of what's obviously the truth? I mean, you've named yourself Lil Xan, and at least in part you have kind of created this persona around having had issues with the drug in the past. So, I mean, at least in a way, they've kind of at least formed the persona with which you create your art. So it's kind of the exact opposite of what you're saying. I can appreciate a bit of repetition or mindlessness if we're getting some kind of swap for smarter, more interesting songs like Youthful Rage or a sense of humor or something, but this album just sounds like shutting your brain off. Just woo, power down. Because it's not particularly hype, nor does it sound very sad either. It just sounds really hollow and vacant. I mean, even on the bangers on this record, Xan doesn't really have much in the way of presence. He's a very drab figure. I mean, the most drab figure on his entire album, as pretty much every feature here and even the instrumentals themselves outshine him. Yeah, this album just sounds like having a weird friend who laughs really strangely at inappropriate times. Ha 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 This album sounds like somebody who never opens their eyes all the way. They're just always in a constant state of this. This thing also sounds like stumbling upon somebody who's in a stupor and you wave your hand in front of their face, they just won't wake up. It also kind of sounds like brain cells dying. Really, the only thing I can give this record are some of the instrumentals and the features. Literally everything that is entertaining about this record has nothing to do with Lil Xan. In fact, I would say most of the time, what's interrupting the enjoyment of this project is Xan himself. Every time he pops in, every time he repeats a ridiculous lyric, every time he's creaking his way through a verse like he's high out of his mind, the enjoyability factor of the song just plummets like a crashing plane. It's not even that this album sounds dumb, because dumb music can be really fun. It's like this album is less of an insult to my intelligence, more of an insult to my humanity. Make music that makes you want to feel alive or feel something. Just engage in some kind of stimuli, not the musical equivalent to just like zonking out and just drooling all over yourself and pissing your pants. I guess that's the last thing this album sounds like, having to take your designer jeans and put them in a heavy wash cycle because you shit them. This Lil Xan album, it's not good. Musician, have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best. You're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe. And please don't die. Hit the bell as well. And I will see you in the next one. Anthony Fantano, Anthony Fantano, Anthony Fantano, forever.